back to the Sinister Sisters podcast. I'm Felicia.
And I'm Lauren.
And we're best friends.
And we like scary movies.
And we have just come off of a 12-hour hang. What time?
Yeah.
More? Yesterday was Valentine's Day.
Yes.
And at some point over the last couple weeks, well, we had a long week. We're gonna tell you about our entire week of
the whole week.
Spooky. But last night we decided to do a sleepover over Valentine's Day because both of our boyfriends they were busy.
They were busy. They were working. They were making that money.
They're making the monies. And so we're here just to hang out. But we ended up having the best time. We basically bought junk food.
Yes.
Pulled out the old sofa bed.
We ate pizza. We had dip.
There was a lot of White Claws that we're still drinking the next day.
Still drinking.
It's a time to be alive, as you said.
Yes.
So, but I guess, so this is a kind of a weird episode. We're not really going in depth on anything. We just want to tell you basically about our week of hanging out and doing spooky things.
Yeah.
And then talking about the movies. We did our movie marathon last night of a bunch of stuff that we want to talk about.
Yeah. Movies that we were checking off our list, I will say.
Yes, movies we probably should have seen already.
And we hadn't.
And
so we're doing it now and we're telling you about it. But our week started off with something really exciting, which was a class.
Yes.
Went
back to school.
I mean, maybe it's a lecture. I guess a class is the wrong word, but it was a lecture about cannibalism.
Yes. Women cannibalism in film.
Yes.
And it was by Kate Robertson, who basically has done like her thesis on this, I guess. And is a writer and is on Twitter if you want to find her.
We really liked her a lot.
Yeah, she was great. I think she was Australian.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yes, or from New Zealand.
Maybe one of those. But she was really smart, and she, obviously they started the lecture off with Jennifer's Body, which I really appreciated. And then she moved into a lot of movies that I had never even heard of.
I know, a lot that we're excited to check out.
Yeah.
Especially because, women in films is something we're interested in, and cannibalism is something we're interested in.
Aren't we all interested in cannibalism?
We do have to say that we ate full meatball subs while watching or listening to this lecture on cannibalism.
This is the real story.
I know. We thought we would definitely be able to find a bodega close to... what is it called?
Film Noir. The Film Noir Theater in Greenpoint, Brooklyn.
Yeah, if you live in New York, I would definitely say pay attention to their events.
Yes, they also just do a lot of weird cult cinema nights, and it's also a DVD rental place. There's a lot of cool... It's probably the only cool spot that does that kind of stuff here in New York, so highly recommend.
Yeah, we really liked it, so I would highly recommend going back. There are no bodegas nearby.
Yes. It started at 7. And that is so hard for a 7 o'clock start time for anything. If you get out of work at 6 in Manhattan, which we both do.
Right.
And we had to get over there. And Lauren had this brilliant idea. She's so smart. So smart. She's like, why don't we get Diet Cokes and a bodega sandwich on the way in. We'll sneak it in. We'll eat it as we do when we go to literally anything.
Right. And it's also, to be fair, it was a 2.5 hour lecture. So we couldn't wait to eat until after.
Wait to eat until... 10 o'clock? Are you
outrageous.
Kidding me?
We can't do it.
And so there was no bodega. So we're running around, at this... Sweating. We get there around, I would say, like 6:45.
Yeah, we left ourselves enough time.
We thought. Running around, running up and down the streets of Greenpoint, trying to find one single bodega that had a deli counter.
I think we asked someone, right?
Yeah, we went in one.
We went into like a convenience store and we were like, where do we get a sandwich?
And they were like, a couple blocks that way. And at this point, we're at like 6:50 something.
Yeah, there was no chance.
And so what we thought would be so smart, another great idea from Lauren, go to the grocery store. They got pre-made stuff. Okay, great. There's a grocery store right there. We run in.
No sandwiches. They were cutting deli meat and they would not put it into a sandwich
They would not put it on bread. And what is that? What is that, Greenpoint?
They had loaves of bread. They had meat.
They refused us. So, there was a pizza place next door which was cash only. This is a very long story.
I know. I hope you're interested, but...
If you're not, well, too bad.
30 seconds skip this.
Yeah, exactly. But so, neither of us have cash to go to this cash-only pizza sandwich place. And so Lauren's like, okay, well, what if I get the Diet Cokes and the chips here, and then I'll get cash back? And I said, okay, great. So if I go ahead and order over there, and then once you get there, the sandwiches will be ready and you can pay. At this point, it's literally 7 o'clock.
Yep. I'm paying at the grocery store, and I was like, it is 7:01.
It is 7:01. So I run in there, and I order 2 meatball subs.
Which, again, in Manhattan, you would be in and out in 4 minutes.
4 minutes tops. But not at Greenpoint, because it's a different town there. It's slower paced.
It's like a real
family
suburb.
business. They're just like, yeah, we're just going to take our sweet-ass time with these meatball sandwiches.
They're just, swapping jokes.
I
was like, can we pay now?
And they were like, no.
I know. He's like, yeah, he's getting wrapped up. I was like...
And then, it was also a little expensive. They charged extra for cheese on a meatball sub, which...
Can you imagine having a meetball sub with no cheese? No one would do that.
I should have called the police.
Bread and sauce and meatballs?
No! It's all about the cheese. Okay, and so we finally get the sandwiches, and they're in these nice boxes, and they're huge. Okay, they're like baby-sized sandwiches.
They're like, no one should consume the whole thing in one sitting.
And yet, we run to the theater. We get there at like 7:10.
Yeah.
And we assumed, as most things in New York always start 5 minutes late. And we were confirmed when we walked in. The guy was like, they started like 5 minutes ago. Go ahead in. We get very lucky, and there are seats in the back row.
Thank God.
Thank God. Or else we would have had to like really walk in. And together. So we sit down. And as soon as we sit down, I realize, my God, these sandwiches smell fragrant.
Which also, I have no sense of smell, so I don't know what this
It was strong.
Concept is.
It was quite strong. And then it's dead silence. And like, obviously, I want to hear what she's saying because I'm so excited to be there. But also, I want to eat this sandwich so bad. I was so conflicted.
And it's so smelly for you.
And it's so smelly. And so I finally like start taking the tape off. Slowly opening the box. Slowly trying to rip apart the sandwich that they had not properly cut it.
The worst is that it's in tin foil.
Oh yeah, the tin foil.
So literally I just look at Felicia because it's just like...
And like dead silence. She's like, blah, 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 cannibalism. And I'm like trying so hard to eat the sandwich. But throughout what we did, and here's the trick, people, wait for laughs.
Yep.
Wait for clips to be shown of movies. And during
those... Like a nice Jennifer's Body throw up.
Yes. And during those brief moments of noise, you can rip apart your sandwich and get it out of the tinfoil.
But we had to eat it. It was necessary.
And we both ate the entire meatball sub while watching a bunch of clips about cannibalism.
I felt horrible.
I felt great. But I did feel sick after. That's what I mean.
Yeah. I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
Should not have eaten that whole thing. But she had a lot of cool things to say. A lot of movies we haven't checked out. We're excited to watch Parents.
Parents, yes, never seen it. And this movie Lore. Mm-hmm. Am I saying that?
Yes, I don't know if it's The Lore or Lore.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But it's about mermaids, and they have these like ridiculously long tails.
Yes, man.
It looks very cool.
Seems exciting to me.
Who are pretending to be humans for a lot of movies.
Yeah.
What else was on the list? Now I can't remember.
And
they talked about our favorite Raw, which I can never get enough.
Yes, they did talk about Raw. They talked about that one called Dumpling.
Yeah.
That one looked interesting. I think that was a short film. Mm-hmm. But there was just a lot of like different... It was a lot of movies about people eating meat or human meat to like stay young and pretty, which I thought was fun. They talked about Neon Demon, which we haven't watched yet, but I'm excited to watch it because even though like I've heard a lot of people say like there's not a lot of substance to it, I'm like, honestly, I'm an aesthetic kind of girl. I can really get behind a movie that's all aesthetic.
It's very true. So
yeah, there was that.
Enough? Yeah, is that enough of our Wednesday?
Yeah, that's enough for our Wednesday. And then Thursday, we saw Dracula.
Yes.
At Classic Stage Company in New York. We've really had a full week.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, it was a very funny adaptation.
Yeah.
There's a lot of humor in it.
So it was written by Kate Hamill, who was actually also in the show, which I thought was interesting. Yes. And it was very...
She was my favorite part.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
It was very feminist. Sort of like... I don't know if it was... I honestly don't know what time period it was set in.
But yeah, I don't think we were supposed to know.
Felt very unclear. But like Van Helsing was really cool. It was this African-American woman. Her name, I looked it up before we started this because I wanted to say it, is Jessica Francis Dukes. And she was like, had like braids and a leather jacket and all this silver and a cowboy hat.
Walking Dead.
Yes.
She looks like she was straight out of The Walking Dead. She looks so cool.
Yeah, so that part of it was really fun. And, Felicia and I are always here for a Dracula retelling.
Yes. My only thing, I have a couple things, but my one thing is that they didn't use blood
Oh, yes. We were very sad.
They did the classic, like, fabric. Or this time they had a lot of beading, like red beading and
glitter.
fabric, glitter, to, like, symbolize blood. And I understand why a theater would do this, because it's really hard. As someone that has mopped up blood as some of my theater days.
And ruined costumes.
And it's hard. It's very hard to deal with real blood. But it's like, if you're going to do Dracula, it's like, part of me is like...
You got to do it.
Have a blood budget, man. Have a cleanup crew. Make it outrageous.
I agree.
But that's not really... I feel like that's also not, like, the aesthetic of classic stage, really.
Yeah. It felt... I mean, it was... Yeah.
Yeah. But overall, it was good. Like, I had a great time watching it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed. Sure. And then we began our Friday movie marathon.
Yes. Yes. It was great.
So we had been talking about this for a little bit, because there are... And I mean, we still have so many... There's so
countless.
many movies that people say, you know, how have you not seen this? Or... all of that. And so that's where we started. I
tried to do a spreadsheet once where I literally was like, laid it out by director and all these things. And I was like, I'm going to like start going through this list. And it's just, I had to realize that I will die not having seen all the horror movies that I feel like I'm supposed to have seen.
Yeah. It's also,
too hard.
I do feel like in this time and age, it's like, if I don't have easy access to it,
totally.
It feels impossible. Which I know it's not, but.
I met this guy, at this NYC horror meetup / Grindhouse horror meetup.
She's blushing. I'm just kidding.
No.
She's got
but
a
I met
boyfriend.
this guy, and he was like, I have been on this journey to watch every horror film that came out in the 80s. And he was like, it's like 500 films. And I was like, who made, like, and like, he's like, and some of them are really hard to find, of course, and blah, blah. But I was like, 500 films? It's like, I cannot imagine, and I cannot do it.
I know. It's also like they just keep coming out with more.
I know. Literally, like, it's like 3 movies come out, like, every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Or more. Anyways.
Yeah. So we set on this mission.
Yeah.
And first on our list was Climax.
Yes. Yeah.
Which we both, I think, we have dance backgrounds.
We do. We were dancers once.
Can't
you tell?
But they, like, it's been suggested to me on my Amazon several times, I feel like.
Yeah.
They're like, you should watch this.
It's also Amazon Prime, so
free.
If you have that, it's free.
It came out in 2018. Mm-hmm. It's a French movie, so there are subtitles, but
there's not that much talking.
No, I was going to say, don't let that stop you, because there's there's very little dialogue.
Yeah.
I looked it up, and there are 5 pages of script for the movie.
And I will say, I could really sense that.
Yeah, it's like, I liked a lot of the things it was playing with. There were some really cool camera shots.
Absolutely.
A lot of, like, upside down camera. I would say for, like,
triply filmed movie.
It felt like it was like 20 minutes of camera upside down, but I don't know if
it was
that
a lot.
long.
It was a lot and throughout, for sure.
Yeah. So it was written and directed by Gaspar Noé. Mm-hmm. So we know that. Frenchman. And it's set in the 1990s. And it's basically this group of dancers that go to an abandoned boarding school for 3 days and rehearse. And then this is like their big party at the end.
Yeah.
Where they have like seemingly one sangria bowl that is spiked with LSD.
Yes, which they don't realize at the beginning of the night.
Yes.
Yeah. There's this crazy opening sequence that, I mean, we didn't start our marathon until 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it was late.
And it started, and I was like, this dance sequence that you said is one shot?
Yeah, one shot for 10 minutes.
That's crazy. It was so long and in depth, but somehow I was like really mesmerized by it.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
It's also apparently I was reading more about it, it's the only choreographed scene. Like, of the dancing, that's the only choreographed movement.
Everything else was like improv?
Yeah.
That's cool. And it is like, because of the LSD, like it gets extremely trippy. It has the good and the bad of LSD for sure. I will say definitely a lot of the bad. Like it literally read like a public service announcement of like, don't do drugs.
Yeah. I mean, that's very real.
It's so intense.
And it's shot, it's just shot so crazy, and it's like these beautiful people, but it still is not appealing at all. Totally.
And I did like, though I really enjoyed like the look of it and watching it, and like I had an enjoyable experience. It was really, it does get hard for me sometimes when there's like basically no plot.
Yeah.
To like grasp onto any characters or like, I don't know.
And the way it was filmed, I feel like a lot of it I was like, oh, this is interesting, or oh, this is like super, super artistic.
Artsy.
But I couldn't really tell enough what was going on. in some of the scenes, which also was like, if there's no plot, there's very little dialogue, or at least scripted dialogue, and I can't really see what's going on. It was like, I'm not really sure what I should be seeing.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
And some of it, I mean, there were some really upsetting moments for sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Super. There's, like, stuff with, like, there's, like, a kid there. And, like, as soon as he comes on screen.
Like, why that woman brought her child.
Yeah. As soon as the kid comes on screen, you're just like, there should not be a kid at this party. He's, like, 7 or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And,
she makes some terrible parenting decisions.
My God. And just a lot of, and then, and there's, like, some really, really weird relationship stuff. There's a lot of people just, like, always being really sexual throughout the entire thing. And there's some, like, there was like a full scene, which I think was intentional, obviously, but some like very upsetting, like rapey talk going on for a long time. That I was like, oh my God, it's like so uncomfortable.
And even like rapey, like a lot of rapey stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of rapey scenes for sure.
That one guy that kept trying to hook up with everybody, but like mostly the main
that one
girl.
Yeah, totally.
And then there were two black guys that were like having. There was like one scene of like a lot of dialogue all of a sudden where they were talking about women in like the worst, most derogatory
and they just kept
way.
cutting back to it. They kept cutting back to the conversation, and it was just like, it was basically just being like, yeah, we'll just like, you know, take her upstairs and show her what you need to show her and make it happen. And it's like,
and all this like, I'm gonna shove it so far up her.
Oh yeah, it's
sorry everyone.
Yeah, there's a lot of like penis conversation where I'm just like, guys, like, please, I hope this is not what guys talk about.
Truly, I hope this.
Upsetting.
I know. We both had a moment where we were like, is this what's happening? And we just don't know it.
Oh, no, I hope not. I hope there are majority good people out there that aren't being assholes like that.
I know.
But there was, I will say that the main actress was a badass.
Yeah, her name is Sophia Boutella.
Boutella.
But she's in The Mummy.
Yes.
And something else that I was
Lauren recognized her.
Yeah, she's actually the only one that's not like a dancer only.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, all the other people had no professional acting experience.
Oh, that's cool.
Which I didn't really feel like they were lacking. Mm-hmm. Like, there were things, I mean, I probably just plot was the biggest thing that, like, I really wanted more of. But, like, I felt like the acting was actually pretty good.
Yeah, like, I felt like I knew the characters-ish just from, like, each of them had very distinct presences, I will say. Is that what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it was, like, a very diverse...
Oh, my God. I just remember that scene where, like, the girl gets, like, kicked in the stomach. Oh, my God. That's so upsetting. That
Basically,
whole section is upsetting.
A girl decides not to drink, and so she's sober, seemingly. But she tells everyone she's pregnant, and people are like, no, you're not.
Yeah, and they, like, kick her in the stomach.
You're faking it and kick her in the stomach.
Yeah, and it's like anyone that didn't drink the LSD, they assume they're the ones that drugged it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it gets, like, very, what is that old book you had to read?
Culture?
With the kids on the island. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
What is that?
Fly.
Oh,
Lord of the Flies.
Yeah,
stroking out over here.
There you go. You got it. But that was that one.
It was interesting. I don't think I hated it, but I don't think I would rewatch it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I did, like, there was definitely a lot of cool things about it where I was like, this is a cool film. I'm glad someone, like, went and made this, like, crazy, crazy thing. I'm glad it seemed like there was a lot of experimentation going on.
Yes. It feels, we said this when we were watching it, but it feels very much like Suspiria.
Oh, there's so much Suspiria callback. Even in the opening sequence of, like, all these interviews with the dancers, it's, like, on this TV and it's surrounded by a bunch of movies and, like, clearly Suspiria is there. And there's a lot of, like, big primary color palettes and spooky music with people walking down long hallways and things like that.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I would say
I did love that scene where she was freaking out and wetting the curtain and like, laying on the sofa.
That was great. That was good. Yeah.
There's some good moments.
Excellent. The net, is that it for that one?
I think that's it.
Cool.
Love.
So next is one that I have felt a lot of shame about not having seen before because I love vampires. We have never seen Blade.
We hadn't.
Until now.
We saw it.
We saw it.
I will say we should have watched it a little earlier maybe, or perhaps in the daylight.
My eyes did shut a few times. But I'm not trying to lie to you right now.
1998, superhero horror film.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. It's also based on a Marvel comic. Did you know this?
Oh, no, I did know it's based on a comic, but I didn't realize it was Marvel.
Yeah, now I'm like, it kind of like, I don't know, maybe it helped kickstart all these Marvel movies.
Yeah.
The fascination, but I don't know if we need to get plot or anything.
Yeah, he's a vampire hunter he has some vampire blood injected in him, I think.
Yeah, half vampire, half human.
Yeah, so he's got like some like super strength, things like that, definitely. But I really liked the sort of 90s goth vibe of this movie.
Yeah.
I really liked like all the costumes and like you said that guy's like super 90s haircut.
Yes.
And them just being like, I'm a vampire. Like, I don't know. I really liked it.
It also was fun to watch Climax and then watch this because towards the beginning there's like a club scene with all the vampires.
I was like, is this the same movie again?
Yeah, it felt very, we were like, what's happening?
Oh, and that
But
scene.
it raining blood.
Yes, the raining blood, which I've seen that like as a meme before, and like I definitely know about that scene. And so watching that, I was just like, this is awesome.
That was very cool.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of good fight sequences, for sure.
Yeah. I really liked all the gore stuff. Like, there's, like, I thought it was really cool.
We enjoyed it.
Action-packed.
Action-packed.
Yeah.
More plot than Climax.
Definitely more plot. Really good acting.
Yeah.
That guy, I have to say this. I'm sorry. There's a guy in it that I recognized from a sitcom.
Oh, yeah.
That I used to watch. I had to find his name again because I forgot it. Blade.
He's like a scarred up.
Oh, so it's Donald
macho.
Logue? How do you say his name? Donald Logue. Sorry, he spells Donald weird.
There's no D at the end.
There's no D. But yeah, he was in this this like sitcom in the early 2000s, I think. What is it called? Grounded for Life. Which I think it used to be on ABC Family or something, but I used to watch it like all the time just because it was on. But I loved it.
Big fan.
Big fan. Also in Blade, Tracy Lords is in it, especially at the beginning. And I was like, hey, Tracy Lords, I love her.
You just love her?
Yeah. I just love her.
Okay.
From like John Waters stuff. She's like a weird lady.
And I thought that like, I just didn't know. I feel like in vampire world, maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but you know better. But like, there's not normally a lot of like class stuff, and there was this difference between the like purebred vampires who were natural born vampires and people that were not.
I think typically in most vampire lore, it's about like the older you are, the more important you are. Mm-hmm. But this was like very like Harry Potter, like mud blood kind of thing. Like that's what.
Which I didn't really understand because I was like,
how did they become vampires?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're like, we're natural born. It's like, what does that mean?
I don't know. But they could still be killed, so.
And it's like an old man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, did he come out a baby vampire? We'll never know.
That's what I want to know, but I don't know.
Guess we gotta watch Blade 2.
The sequels, yeah.
Then finally, we watched What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, I was like, I can't remember.
She's like, what movie?
No, we ended up watching that this morning.
Oh, yes, we did. We watched What We Do in the Shadows, 2014, New Zealand mockumentary with the guy from Flight of the Conchords, which I know, but Felicia's never seen. I'll show you videos. You might. I feel like you probably have seen it. Maybe not. But they're like musical comedians.
No.
Okay. But it's Jermaine Clement. And then the guy from Jojo Rabbit, Taika Waititi. Mm-hmm. Waititi? But they wrote it, they directed it, and they're in it.
I will say I don't know the last time I've had that much enjoyment out of a movie.
I loved it.
Like I was just like laying here just like, and every few seconds I just kept laughing internally and or externally. And I was like, this is so, because I thought it was going to be like, I honestly was like, is this going to be like too dumb that I'm annoyed by it?
Yeah.
Like sometimes that humor, I'm just like it's not really for me. But the fact that it was like about vampires, which is something I'm clearly interested in, and it was like all the humor was so well done. I just loved it.
It's so good, and it's
you cared about the characters. That's what blew my mind. I was like invested in them. I was so sad when Peter died.
She was really upset.
I was like, oh my god, they didn't put him out. Like,
that was the funniest thing in the whole movie to me. It was Felicia being like, oh,
Peter. I just started.
I
connected to
he's
him.
like a very Nosferatu looking scary vampire.
Who like doesn't talk.
Yeah,
she was
Heartbroken.
It's like after 8,000 years, you got to go out like this? That's so sad.
But I didn't know that it was mockumentary, which I thought was so successful.
Yes,
and
I didn't realize that either.
And I feel like vampire movies take all of it so seriously. Like Interview with a Vampire.
Exactly.
Even Twilight
takes
itself so seriously that like it was so fun. I thought their flying anytime they flew made me laugh. Because they just like go...
Yeah.
And it's so silly.
Then, I swear to God, sometimes you could see wires. And I was like, I love it. I love that I can see the wires.
It was so good. And they had the getting ready segment was also my favorite. It was just like them like trying on clothes, like go pick up people.
I loved it. And it was fun because you got to see like like the werewolves.
Yes.
You got to, like how it's like, it's sort of like gangs in a way where it's like they walk by and they like say something shady to them and the werewolves are like, and the werewolves like won't cuss. They keep cussing, but they keep saying we're werewolves, not swearwolves. I'm just like, oh my God. It's like so dumb and so perfect. I loved it.
And
I would watch that a million times.
It to me gave me, probably not as much for you, but it gave me like real Office vibes because they kept like staring at the camera and being like, right?
Especially the one that's like kind of the main one.
Yeah.
I really loved him. He was just such a sweet man. I was like,
and there was a really sad familiar woman in it too.
Oh my God. Who she like couldn't get changed into a vampire, so she's just like someone's slave and just like so sad.
But so sweet. But we really liked that one. Highly recommend.
Yeah. I really want to see the show now.
I know. I have to watch it.
Is it more than one season in?
I think it's only one season, but it's I think they're hopefully gonna have another.
I've got to watch it because I mean, I didn't realize how delighted I would be by this movie.
I know, but now I feel sad that it's not those guys in it.
I know. I thought it was. I lied.
She
to
lied.
Lauren.
She lied.
I was like, yeah, I think it's like the same cast, blah, blah. And she's like, no, it takes place in Staten Island. It's a totally different cast.
I know.
I was like, dang it.
But my boyfriend's from Staten Island, so I'm very excited to watch it because...
The Staten Islandisms.
Staten Islandisms.
There's got to be something. I don't know.
I feel like I'm going to laugh. Actually, I might make him watch it with me.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Right?
Yeah. Also, I hate that I've taken this long to mention Lauren's velvet jumpsuit. Top and bottom pajamas.
If you're listening to this on the podcast, I am so sorry that you can't see this velvet jumpsuit I'm wearing.
Literally full green. Because we were like, we should just like, we can just do the first episode like in our pajamas. We're coming from a sleepover. We'll just let the truth be there. And I didn't really realize that Lauren had such serious pajamas.
To be fair, I got these for a pajama party. I don't literally wear these every day, but maybe I should.
And so I went on the Macy's website and I'm going to purchase a pair in blue.
In blue.
So we can go out together in matching velvet jumpsuits.
I think we have to wear these like out to a bar.
Somewhere.
I don't know. Well, people, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know how they'll be received.
I don't know. And I'm like, should Juicy Couture velvet jumpsuits come back? Like, or should we have another moment of matching jumpsuits?
Yes.
I guess we should.
Okay, before we end, do you have anything you wanted to recommend this week?
Thank you for saying that because we never do that.
We never do it.
We always talk about we're like at the end of
it's only episode, because this week I can actually say a movie.
You've thought, I see what it is. Okay, well you go first.
I was going to say I saw #horror, which I'm not going to talk about because I thought it was based on a real true story that was researchable and turns out it's not.
It's not. Bummer.
But I actually had a great
Wikipedia
time.
page.
I know. But I had a great time. It's directed by an actress who's actually involved in the Harvey Weinstein stuff.
Whoa.
I know, which
no
is... wait, what did I say it was written and directed?
No, I think you said an actress.
Okay, I'm sorry. This actress named...
Actually, I can't remember what you said now.
Tara Subkoff,
yeah.
who is an actress, and she was in The Cell with J-Lo,
okay.
which I love. But she wrote and directed this movie. But she is just a cool lady. The movie is not amazing, I will say. It has Chloe Sevigny, who I love. But it's about cyberbullying, which feels very real to me. Which I am not cyberbullied.
Don't you dare bully us. If you bully us, I will freak out. I don't do well with bullying.
No, but especially
I will cry
cyberbullying.
publicly.
And she said she like worked on this movie or she got the idea for this movie because she was like talking to a friend's daughter and she was like, oh my God, when I went to school, bullying would stop when you went home. But she said cyberbullying doesn't stop. You know, you used to be able to like change schools or call out of
It's like all here, all
it's
the
all
time.
there. You go home from school, still bullied.
That sucks, man.
So
that's intense.
I thought the concept for the movie was more interesting than the movie. But also these girls in the movie are like, I don't know, 11 or 12. and they say such terrible things to each other. It just makes me hope that that's not real. But
one of my favorite stories about myself is that one time some girl from my, I guess maybe I was in high school. No, it must have been middle school because I was still on MySpace. And on MySpace, they had this truth box you could put on your profile where people could anonymously send you truths about yourself. Why were we doing that?
I was never on MySpace. I was too fragile.
I was addicted to MySpace.
No, I couldn't do MySpace because I was worried I wouldn't be on anyone's top friends list.
You would have been on my top friends.
And I probably would have been on someone's.
I was so I mean, I could tell you so much. I had like so many MySpace accounts. Ugh, I could do a whole episode on it. At least like 4.
Why?
Because I had my site, and then I had a layout site where I make layouts. I had a contest site for like emo kids to like submit pictures of themselves.
Contest?
Yeah, a contest site. I'm literally like in fucking 7th grade.
I'm blown away.
Don't know what I'm doing on there. But this somebody was like,
on your page.
Oh yeah, so in the anonymous thing was like, blah blah blah. I think you like are so full of yourself and you're not even that cool. Like you think you're cool, but you're definitely not. And this is blank, and I don't even care if you know who it is. And she literally wrote her name, and I was like, oh. And she recently added me on Facebook, and I said, no. I was like, I hold grudges, girl.
What's her name? I'll kill her.
I can't tell you.
I wish you would.
I can't tell the world on the internet.
Can you imagine if everyone, all of your subscribers, just like immediately turned on her?
No, I would never do that to someone. But
she sounds evil.
But I mean, she's like a middle schooler, so she's obviously just like doing whatever.
I wouldn't do evil things like that.
I didn't either, but it was very funny to me.
I thought you were gonna talk about the time you were yelled at in college. But
one time I was yelled at in college by a peer, and I said, no one's yelled at me since like my mom.
I just so distinctly remember your face. Felicia's face was just like so shocked.
I was like smiling because I was like,
yeah.
I was like, damn, I haven't felt this way in a while. Maybe you should do it again. Yell at me again.
She felt overjoyed.
It was wild.
Yeah, wait, do you have something to recommend?
Yes. I will recommend MySpace.com to anyone. But dogs don't wear pants. I'll recommend that. I already talked about it on my channel this week, but it is a Finnish film. It's on Shudder exclusively, I think. It won Best Feature at Fantastic Fest in 2019.
It's huge.
And it's just awesome. It's about like a dominatrix and this man who is like lost his wife and going through a lot of grieving. And they form this like very intimate connection with each other that is very like dark and like obviously sexual, but also intimate in like a way that they both like need each other. And it's like really dark, really sexual, but also like full of feelings. And the ending is like so good.
I love that.
I love the ending. It's so great. But there's also some good horror stuff in there too. So I'd recommend that. Yeah. Toby, what are you doing?
He's just chilling.
Okay. All right. That's our week of spooky stuff that we did.
Week of spooky stuff. And some movies.
That's it. If you want more, we do a lot of spooky stuff in the city sometimes. If you want more stuff like this, let us know. Or if you just want like more casual videos like this, let us know. But if not, don't let us know.
All right. Tell us. Say, I hate it when you wear velvet pantsuits.
It's a velvet pant or a velvet sweatshirt. You can't just do both.
Or you can.
But that's it. We hope you have some sweet, sweet nightmares.
Bye.
Bye.